Hello, 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 all of you beautiful people from around the world. Whether you're watching this live, you're watching this on the replay, I want to wish you a happy Monday and also a happy holiday season. I know not everybody celebrates all of the same holidays around the world, but I just want to say, whoever you are, whatever you're celebrating, or whether you're just hanging out with family at this time of year, I hope that it's going well for you. I hope that you're able to kick back and just enjoy. And also, I see you guys coming into the chat. I just want to say as well, I did not plan on streaming this. I had accidentally hit stream when I thought I had it recorded, and several hundred of you guys got to experience what it's like for me when I'm just trying to record stuff. I'll also say, too, to everyone, there's no, obviously, face cam here. I'm just up in Boston at home. I haven't got my setup figured out. I don't know if I'll figure out a setup throughout the week where I can do face cam. But yeah, there was no face cam today. But I did just want to talk about the box office for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. It's a big deal. And obviously I knew this was going to be the video we did today, no matter what. No matter what, whether it crushed, whether it bombed, we were going to have to talk about the box office here on a Monday morning. And I'm happy to talk about it because I think, just like everything else Star Wars, there's a lot of nuance to this conversation. And I think that basically you've got a lot of different people in different camps taking extremist views of the box office for The Rise of Skywalker. So let's talk about this. Let's get into this. But also let me know in chat, how does it sound? And how does the music sound? Is the music too invasive or is the music just right? You let me know, guys. It's just a nice holiday stream here. Okay. Let's talk about The Rise of Skywalker and the box office. To me, this is a really interesting story, but it's also a story we've kind of been talking about for months. When the predictions came in, you can't hear it. Well, it's literally soft right now, so I'll pull it up just a little bit for you, Maverick. But it's just kind of meant to be kind of holiday-y in the background. All right, well, let me know if you hear the music now. I'm pulling it up just a little bit. So this is something we've kind of been talking about for a while, though. There were predictions for this box office months ago that had already put it at much lower, or at least lower, than the two previous films, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Okay? Now, as we got closer to the film, the box office estimates actually dropped. Okay? So they even dropped lower than they were months out. And then when the film came out, the Thursday, Friday numbers, which they put together, are solid. They're very strong. They're very, very strong. And people thought, upon seeing the Friday numbers, wow, this movie could really do well and probably get up to 190, 195. That was sort of the predictions. Then it had a pretty significant drop. The Friday to Saturday drop was not kind to the movie, and the Sunday numbers weren't incredible either. And we're left with, by all accounts, and this could fluctuate slightly as more numbers come in, but by all accounts, we are looking at 175.5 million domestic, as a domestic take. Of course, it did pretty well overseas as well. Not everywhere. It bombed in China, but I think a lot of us saw that coming, right? And so we're looking at 175.5 million. What does that mean? Okay. Some people will tell you this is the proof in the pudding. This is a disaster. This is horrible, and Star Wars is in a really bad place because of where we're at with 175 million, okay? So some people will take that view, and they'll say this is absolutely terrible, this is horrible, this is a really bad sign. Now, other people are taking an incredibly optimistic view of this, and here's why. A lot of trades are pointing out that this movie opened at a very awkward time compared to its predecessors. So, you look at The Force Awakens. I think, honestly, you just take The Force Awakens out of the conversation. The Force Awakens is an anomaly of a film. It made so much money because of the anticipation for Star Wars in general. People had been really hungry since the prequels for Star Wars. People were really curious. What's Disney going to do with Star Wars? So I say just take The Force Awakens out of the equation. There's probably never going to be another Star Wars movie that hits that. I mean, you're talking about the movie that holds the domestic record for gross for a movie, right? But when you look at The Last Jedi opened at December 15th, right? A whole 5 days before this movie. And also, there were two separate weekends. That took place before Christmas for The Last Jedi. And what a lot of trades are pointing out is that because this was an incredibly busy weekend, the one we just had, for not only shopping, but for not only like getting ready for the holidays, travel, all sorts of things, there's a lot to be said for the fact that there were a lot of factors working in to what was going on with this box office, okay? Now, my opinion is kind of somewhere in the middle. Now, while I definitely agree that there was a lot sort of working against the film, I also think it's Star Wars. And it's Star Wars, and Star Wars should be the biggest thing. And you can't deny that there's a trend here with the box office going down. You can't deny that there's a problem with the fan base and with the branding of Star Wars. Star Wars as a brand has kind of lost some people, I feel, along the way of the sequel trilogy. There are some people obviously very, very angry about the sequel trilogy and just unwilling to give it a fair shake. Okay? So, to me, what this box office does, and by the way, completely dependent on what happens next week. Completely dependent because, you know, just looking back, because this is what we're doing now. We're analyzing the previous numbers and we're trying to see what it means. The Force Awakens had a 40% drop-off. That's incredible from weekend 1 to weekend 2. An incredible 40% drop-off. Okay? Now, The Last Jedi had, I believe, a 76% drop-off. Almost double the drop-off that The Force Awakens had. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Rise. What's that weekend 2 drop-off look like? Because if the weekend 2 drop-off holds at 40% or even lower, like what if some of these trades are correct? And what if indeed there were a lot of factors going into this and the word of mouth on the film is not as bad as people think because the audience scores are pretty strong? And what if we get like a 30% drop-off? Then it's a totally different story. Then we're all talking about, you know, holy cow, what's this movie going to do? Could it possibly go to 1.1 or 1.2? Who knows? But that will be the story of this film, is going to be what happens in weekend 2. But what I think is going to happen, and what I've been telling you guys kind of for months now, is this is exactly what I thought was going to happen for this film. And it's literally at that sort of nice, easy spot. It's right in the middle. It's low enough to show that, yes, there is a problem with Star Wars as a brand. Yes, we do need to change things. Yes, things do need to get better. But it's also not low enough to throw in the towel, to say that Star Wars is dead, to say that they could never fix it. You know, that's just not true. This is a number that's kind of right in that soft spot in the middle, which actually I think could end up being a good thing for the franchise in the future, because it's going to show that, like, okay, yeah, now we're all on the same page. Yes, the trilogy as a whole, while not a complete misfire, is certainly not what we deserved as Star Wars fans. But also, this isn't the end. This isn't the end. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is not over. And the Star Wars brand is still strong. These are numbers that other franchises would absolutely kill for. Do you know what I mean? So, to me, the story of Episode 9, the box office and the breakdown for it, is kind of what we were talking about months leading up to this film. It's kind of what we were talking about, you know, even weeks before. This is kind of what I expected. And I know for a lot of people, see, here's what I think is going on. There are a lot of people out there that they're in denial that there was anything wrong with Star Wars. You know what I mean? There were a lot of people in denial about where we were at with the brand of Star Wars, where we were at, right? I think that now we cannot deny that there is certainly a problem. You know what I mean? There's certainly a problem. But again, it's not over, right? So when it comes to the box office breakdown, that's kind of my thoughts with the box office breakdown. And I got to tell you, I didn't plan on going live. And yeah, there's no face cam. So I apologize about that. But I will say this. If you guys want to, I'll go for a little bit longer here. And I will I will answer some questions, rather. So if you guys want to get into some Q&A, feel free to do that. And also, it does help out. Drop a like. Chop like on the stream. It helps out. Christopher says with a super chat, is Xmas Day a big box office day? You know, I don't know offhand, but I do believe that Christmas Day does bring in a good bit of money for the box office. I think a lot of families do go out and see it, but I'm not sure about that. So yeah, feel free to drop some questions in here. And yeah, we'll talk for a little bit. I'll probably go like 20 minutes here. And then I feel like I'm going to drop several videos over the next couple of days. And I do want to do a stream where I'm talking about why I like this movie and why I borderline love this movie. And I want to sort of explain that because I know it's like contentious right now. You know what I mean? Everyone's like has their opinions about it. And I really like the movie. So I want to talk about that. But this stream is really about the box office and what it means for Kathy. Because here's the thing. One more thing I want to ramble about before we get into Q&A. Okay, one more thing. Right now, I believe the big question mark is, what do they do with Kathy? What do they do with Kathy? Because I think she was probably always on the way out. And I think that in 2021, she will step down, and I think that she is going to be setting up the new guard. However, if this movie does not hit $1 billion, I could see some heads rolling. I could see Bob Iger firing her to try to save face and to try to shift the narrative around and really to try to get people kind of to come back. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, it really depends on what next weekend is and all that. But honestly, if this film does not hit $1 billion, I could see a scenario in which Bob Iger fires Kathy Kennedy even before 2021, and we just literally totally eviscerate her guard and move forward with that. I see a lot of people saying, fire Kathy. I get it. You know what I mean? I'm really not a big fan of Kathy either. But I will say that I like this movie. I don't think everything Disney has done has been a complete disaster. I'm very positive on Star Wars. But if the film doesn't make $1 billion, that's a very bad footnote on this story. And I could see it getting pretty ugly if that were to happen. So, let's see here. Christian Longo says, how can you love the movie when you knew everything before? Well, I appreciate that question. I appreciate the super chat. Let me take a sip of my coffee, and then I'll answer you. Because Christian, knowing everything that will be in a movie and watching a movie are very different things. In the same way that someone who's creating a movie is writing a movie and then recording a movie or shooting a movie and then editing a movie and then releasing a movie, just because they knew what was going to be in it doesn't mean they don't judge the final product as the final product. That's what you do. So knowing everything within the leaks, which, by the way, I know we talked about this on the other live stream, I knew everything going into Endgame. I'd say 85%. I knew 85% of everything that was going to happen in Endgame before I went into Endgame, and I absolutely loved Endgame. The leaks did not ruin it for me. And I think, honestly, if the leaks ruined it for you, I really don't believe that. I'm sorry. I just really don't believe that the leaks ruined it for you. But if they did, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's on you. Because I put spoiler things in my videos for the last 5 to 6 months. 5 to 6 months. I've been telling people spoiler stuff. And yeah, we talked about a lot of it. We knew a lot of this going into it. But it didn't affect my my feeling. Christian Longo says, the ending ruined it for me, not the leaks. Hey, man, I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, if the ending, if it ruined it for you, I get it. I get it. Yeah, Maverick says, I'm glad your hair is safe. Yeah, me too, bro. But I was really never in question about that. Never in question about that. You have no comeback, so you just say, don't believe him? Dude, it's not a comeback, Frank. Frank, man, you must have stumbled into the wrong chat, man. This is not a fight. This is a conversation. So calm your freaking butthole. The Rise of Skywalker reaction review video is unavailable. Did you delete it? No, I didn't delete it. It should definitely not be deleted. I don't know what you're talking about. The stream you're talking about? That stream is definitely still available. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Let's shave your head anyway. Yeah, go ahead. Drop some questions in here. I'll try to get to some questions. They killed off the Skywalker bloodline. No Skywalker has risen here. Oh, Mallory. See, this is not the stream. Let me ask you guys something. Because everybody wants to talk about the movie. And I get it. Here's what I'm thinking, and let me know your thoughts on this. This stream was not intended to be a stream talking about the movie. This stream was intended to be a video talking about the box office. So I really wanted to just talk about the box office, but it's clear that you guys are really hungry to just talk about the movie. So what I can do is I can end this stream, and then I can start another stream that will be all about why I love the movie, and then we can get into that if you guys want to do that. So let me know. Ooh, no spoilers, Donnie Greer says. See, that's the thing. There's no spoilers. Oh, Lord Arnold. That was a video. Okay, so let me explain this, Lord Arnold. That was a video that was supposed to be me just recording and editing together something so that I could talk about the box. Okay, so this is what we'll do. I see a lot of people want to talk about the film. Hang tight. Give me like 20 minutes, a half hour, and we'll do a new stream. We'll talk all about the movie, okay? So I'm going to end this stream then. What a weird stream. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the box office. Yeah, that's what I was referring to earlier. I just wanted to talk about the box office in this. So again, final word on the box office. Definitely a sign that there is bad stuff going on, that there's things need to be improved. I'm with you. I'm not trying to say that it's all sunshine and roses right now. That's rainbows. That's not what I'm saying. But this box office is not a complete disaster. We have to wait to see what happens in weekend 2. And yeah, we'll go from there. How do you chop like? There's this button that has a thumbs up on it, and you have to line up your mouse so that when you click it, it's on the button, and then you raise your fist high into the air, and you unfold it, and you make a karate chop, and you bring that chop down on your mouse so that it clicks the like. That's how you chop like. But let's get out of here, guys. Give me like 20 minutes, a half hour. We'll get on here. We'll talk all about the movie. Now, here's the thing. It's going to be spoilers. I'm sorry. I can't talk about this movie without talking about spoilers. Imagine Theory asks, will it surpass $1 billion at the box office? I don't know. I really hope. Alex, I see you, man. All right, guys. Give me 20 minutes, a half hour, and we're going to get into this because I have a lot to say. All right. As I always say, hope you're having an awesome and nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video, which is literally about 20 minutes. All right.